Type in your contribution and name, then send it to 7197. Your views, our interviews on Spectrum, Radio 1 FM 90.
A very warm welcome. This is Spectrum on Radio 1. I'm your host, Edmond. Kizito. Good evening. On Spectrum tonight, the arrest and detention of members of parliament. Why is the police holding them beyond their stipulated 48 hours? What are the implications of such an act? Two members of parliament, Commissioner of Parliament, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, and Kampala Central MP, Mohamed Nsiriko, who were arrested on Monday, are still under detention at the Police Special Investigations Unit at Chireka, beyond the constitutional 48 hours within which they are supposed to be arraigned in court. Attempts by several MPs to secure the freedom of their colleagues who were arrested by police as part of an ongoing investigation about inflammatory statements made after the death of Honorable Ssegonna have remained futile. Today, a team led by Busiro East MP Medard Lubega Ssegonna said they had been blocked from seeing the two and that Dr. Baryomunsi was now being forced to sign a statement. They later failed to secure an order from court to have the two released unconditionally. At Chiseka Market, traders loyal to Kampala Central MP Nsiriko carried out a demonstration, burning tires and closing shops, insisting that their MP must be released. They are promising more action tomorrow. President Museveni has directed that all those who made statements inciting the public in Parliament and during the burial of the late MP be interrogated by police, including Speaker Rebecca Kataga. Other MPs wanted by police include Emmanuel Dombo, Betty Namboze, Dr. Medard Bitecherezo, Dr. Sam Yomoki, and Honorable Theodore Sechikubo. The arrest and detention of these MPs beyond the 48 hours is being looked at by some legal minds as an abuse of their fundamental rights. But the police insist that in dealing with crime, no one is above the law. In the past, President Museveni has advocated for a constitutional amendment to enable the state to hold suspects for up to 6 months to conclude investigations. So tonight we look at the arrest and detention of the MPs, implications, and what exactly the police is looking for from the MPs who insist they are being witch-hunted. Our guests tonight: Honorable Medard Lubega Ssegonna, Busiro East MP, also Shadow Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. You're most welcome, Honorable Ssegonna.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen listening over there.
We expect to be joined by Assistant Inspector General of Police, Andrew Felix Kawesi, Commander of the Kampala Metropolitan Police. He's on his way to this show tonight, and you two will be able to call in and contribute to this discussion at some stage. Honorable Ssegonna, why are these MPs being held beyond the constitutional 48 hours?
Well, it's a wonderful question to a wrong person, I must say, because I'm not holding them. I have actually been fighting for their release. The only reason I can understand why they are being held beyond the 48 hours is I think we're sliding slowly but steadily into not a dictatorship but into a tyranny. I was not part of the group that made this constitution for us. It is a constitution that was made by our forefathers. We received it with open hands. President Museveni signed it, I guess, on in October. Was it 12th of October 1995? I was in senior 5. So he is definitely bound by this constitution. But what we are witnessing today is a breakdown of institutions in our country. I must tell you with confidence that the Inspector General of Police and his entire team have lost control. The whole policing system is now in the hands of the President. Because you cannot talk to IGP today and talk about a police bond. You cannot talk to the director of CID and talk about a police bond. You have only mentioned the members of parliament. There are many small men and women down there who suffer. Dr. Baryomunsi's official driver, given to him by Parliament as a commissioner of Parliament, is in detention in Fort Portal. Dr. Baryomunsi's official bodyguard, a policeman given to him by Parliament, who had marching orders to go and provide protection to the MP, was arrested in Fort Portal on the same day at the same time for unknown reasons, and they are in detention in Fort Portal. They were stopped by a traffic officer on the road, and they said, "Any traffic offense?" He said, "No, just park here. The person who wants you is coming." So he rang the DPC in Fort Portal, who came with a patrol and arrested all of them. Now, what did the driver do, for heaven's sake? If they're talking about so-called inflammatory statement by whatever description, what did the driver do? What did this poor policeman do, apart from complying with orders? He never applied, first of all, to be a bodyguard to Dr. Baryomunsi. So put that one aside. 48 hours. Apart from the 48 hours rule, which they have consistently, persistently, and constantly abused, as we speak, Dr. Baryomunsi, to whom I'm counsel, does not know why he's in detention. They did not tell him why he was detained. The traffic officer told him, the person who wants you is coming, and that is my boss. The DPC got there, said, we have instructions to deliver you to nowhere else but Chireka, SIB, Special Investigations Branch. He got to Chireka. He was not interrogated. He was instead detained in Ginger Road Police Station up to now. I mean, there is a breakdown of institutions and glorification of individuals. I think it is a question of inflating one man's ego, and it's not about institutions. And that's my answer. That is the reason these people continue to be in detention. For Honorable Sereko, these men and women, armed to the teeth, camped at his house almost for an entire day. He was asking them, before I open for you, one, who are you? What are you here for? We are here to go with you. Go with me where? They couldn't explain. Until some senior politicians went and convinced. I attempted to go there. They blocked me. A senior politician in form, name and style of Honorable Mike Mukula, went and convinced him, go with these men so that we do not break havoc in this area. He said, what havoc? I'm under attack. But the man complied. He went with them. That was Monday 24th December 2012. In the year 2012, while the whites are going to Mars and everywhere, Ugandans are still struggling for space of free expression in their country.
Right.
It's a shame.
Well, listeners, this is Spectrum on Radio 1 tonight. The arrest and detention of members of parliament. Why is the police holding them beyond the stipulated 48 hours? What are the implications of such an act? Our guests tonight, Honorable Medard Lubega Ssegonna, Busiro East MP, Shadow Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. We also were expecting to be joined by the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Mr. Andrew Felix Kawesi, who is the commander of the Kampala Metropolitan Police.
He's called Commandant.
Commandant. Well, he just told us that he's not able to come tonight. So in order to balance this debate, we're trying to get in touch with an official, either from the government or from the National Resistance Movement, that's the party in power today, to give us the other side. You two will be able to call in and contribute to this discussion. Let's first of all deviate a little bit. Let's talk about this police commissioner thing. It's not something the ordinary person would understand. Emmanuel Dombo is a parliamentary commissioner. Dr. Baryomunsi is also a parliamentary commissioner. Can you explain it for us?
Now, the parliamentary commission is a constitutional body, a constitutional and statutory body that is established to run the affairs, the management, day-to-day management of Parliament. It is chaired by the Speaker of Parliament. The membership is drawn from the ruling party, where you have the Prime Minister, who is the leader of government business, as a member of the Commission. You have the leader of the opposition. You have backbench members of Parliament. So these backbench members of Parliament, who include the Honourable Dr. Chris Baryomunsi and the Honourable Emmanuel Dombo, Elijah Cooper, Honourable MP for Busiro, were elected, and the Honourable Biona,
there's a lady, I forget her name,
yes,
but there's
Jalia Bintu, are members who were elected by MPs.
There's also the Minister of Finance. It's an and it's the top administration of the, it's like a board of governors.
Top administration of Parliament. These people are charged with the running of parliamentary affairs.
And two of them are arrested.
The welfare of members is entrusted in their hands. Now, what brings them into trouble is when death occurred, and this has been a practice, when death occurs of a member of Parliament, we have a budget for that. We have preparations that are undertaken by Parliament to send off our colleague. So, one, because the death was in circumstances that are suspicious, we said, fine, we need to follow A to Z in the post-mortem exercise. And we sat. And if they had not done what they did, we were going to fire them. Because their primary
They were doing their official work as commandants of parliament.
Precisely.
Doing what they did, ordering the post-mortem and so on.
Exactly.
They are supposed to arrange the burial, but they could not do that without trying to investigate certain things.
Certainly, because we had to know. We all demanded to know, and we still demand to know what caused the death of our colleague. So, we did not even request them. We instructed them. With the concurrence of the Speaker.
Oh, the Speaker knew about it?
Precisely. We were together. So if we are to own up, if President Museveni is to arrest, he should arrest all of us.
Even the Speaker?
He has said it. The Speaker is our head. And was our head in taking this decision. And we all participated, and we own up. All of us. Even in the plenary, we said it. We own up. So, the question was, please, follow up everything. They reached there. How they do it cannot be a matter to be debated on the floor of Parliament. I mean,
it's a tactical detail, an operational detail.
Demand that we debate the do's and nitty-gritties on the floor of Parliament. So they sat in a meeting with the police, and I'm sure the police is embarrassed as we speak.
They sat with the police
to
agree on a post-mortem.
They agreed with the IGP. Actually, in my presence at Nsambia, we were there. They agreed to participate together with the family because nobody believed what happened. And of course, let no one deceive you. The state was not a prime suspect at the time. We were working in cooperation and partnership with the state. The IGP participated 100%. Later, the following day, he delegated to the director CID, Madame Grace Akulu, my sister, who I sympathize with today as we speak. They sat in meetings, they agreed, let us make investigations. Let us take 2 different samples. Actually, initially it was 3. The family pathologist, Parliament to appoint a pathologist, and the police surgeon. They were all participating. They sat in a meeting and agreed, let us take different samples. They later agreed and said, okay, for Parliament, we are sponsoring a pathologist to take samples to South Africa. Parliament.
You have the power to do those things.
It is not about powers. You see, this is what people who are innocent of the law have been saying, and I must correct them. Anything that is not prohibited is allowed. It is not prohibited. That's number one. I agree with the president to a limited extent. And of course I forgive the president because he's also innocent of the law. He's not a lawyer. He told us he was in law school for 1 day. And when he disagreed, he left. He did not have the patience. Now, he must listen to those of us who had the patience to understand the law. They agreed with the police. Director CID, present. Mr. Is it Superintendent of Police or Commissioner Kato, present, until he walked out. And according to some MPs who attended, maybe, I don't know, they don't know whether he was protesting or not. Director CID, they gave Dr. Onzivua these samples to take them to South Africa.
Police gave the samples to Dr. Onzivua?
Not police, the team.
The police, including police?
Including police. The police surgeons were there, the director CID was there, the parliamentary group. Now in Parliament, we had gone beyond commissioners, because initially we had tasked Dr. Chris Bariomunsi as a commissioner, we had tasked Honorable Emmanuel Dombo, 1, as a commissioner, 2, as a member of Parliament from Butaleja.
Yes.
Because he was our liaison officer with the family. And 3, Dr. Medard, we appointed him because he is a medical doctor. Number 3, the Honorable Dr. Samu Yomoki. Because we said, okay,
who's also a medical doctor,
our own experts who are going to monitor the process and ensure it is transparent. Anyone who is fighting this is fighting nothing but transparency. And that one cannot resist the temptation of thinking there is a conspiracy to conceal something. If you want everything to be in light, bring it on board. I don't know whether anyone ever went and deceived the president that the police did not participate. I have this information from all those persons I mentioned. They said it on the floor of Parliament. It has never been denied by any person pointed to as having participated. Number 3, I don't even understand whether it is presidential for the man occupying the seat of President of the Republic of Uganda.
The fountain of honor.
Fountain of honor. To go down to those levels.
What do you mean? What do you mean going down to those levels?
Yes, boss.
This is his daughter who's just there.
No. I'm not talking about overseeing. I'm talking about intermeddling in an investigation.
No, he's only trying to make things orderly.
Intermeddling. He's supposed to call the IGP,
yes,
Director CID, and say, brief me. Then he gives them directions on those matters where he's one, competent, and where he thinks they are going the wrong way. But not the, what makes him the fountain of honor is being above certain trivialities. These are trivialities.
Trivialities?
Yes, I insist. Because, yes, the member of parliament died under suspicious circumstances. That one calls for presidential.
Well, but they said it is drugs. The Inspector General of Police knew it even before the investigation. He knew it was drugs. It was obvious.
And that caused,
but it was obvious.
I must tell you this. I was very young during the days of Idi Amin. An elderly man told me somebody died in an accident, but 2 days before, Idi Amin had directed that they should process his death gratuity.
What do you mean by that statement?
No, the point I am making is nobody is above suspicion. When somebody dies under suspicious circumstances, now let me speak as a lawyer who has done some bit of criminology. When someone dies under suspicious circumstances, everyone is potentially suspect.
Yes.
What the police does is to say, okay, we have 34 million Ugandans as suspects.
Then you keep eliminating.
Then you do by elimination, and you look at motive. Why would Edmond Kizito kill Medard? One, they are in business. Maybe he wants to take the whole share. That does not arise. You eliminate. Two, they are in competition, doing competing business. But it appears this one is a remote possibility. You eliminate. Three, they are quarreling over a woman. You eliminate. That one is not also true. Four, Medard is a politician. Who is competing with him? Edmond Kizito? Yes, but you know, Edmond conceded defeat when he lost to Medard. Then you eliminate. Who did he last have a quarrel with? Mukasa. Now you go to the next level. Does Mukasa have the will to kill? Has he got the capacity? Has he got the opportunity to kill? You investigate all those areas. Let me tell you something more striking. As we speak, these people have given aid to the prime suspect called Adam Kalungi.
What do you mean?
What I mean is this. Adam Kalungi is on the run, presumably.
Yes. What do you mean, presumably? We know he's on the run.
I don't know. He could even be dead.
What do you mean? The man is still being looked for by police.
You can still look for somebody who is dead. Okay? He could be dead. But you're looking for Adam Kalungi as a prime suspect.
Yes.
Then you're saying somebody died of drugs.
Yes.
If I were Adam Kalungi, do you know what I would do?
What would you do?
I would surface. To tell you, yeah, my friend was close to drugs. She used to do this and this and that. When you test my blood and you find drugs, I tell you yes. I actually learned from her. Because they have provided him with cover and a defense.
So he would show up naturally.
I would show up.
He would be an innocent man.
I would say, I'm innocent. Why did you run? I was threatened. Or anything. But the point I'm making, you're investigating Kalungi who is on the run. You're giving him an answer. Okay. But you made the point. Just before the post-mortem done, then the IGP is telling newsmen, this woman died of drugs.
He's an experienced man. He knows these things from afar.
Now we need to know from the IGP how many people he has seen who have died of drugs so that he has collected that experience over time. That's number one. Let me also tell you this. As a Uganda man of my age, I've seen people who have died of poison.
Yes.
And we call that a clinical test. You look at somebody, you say that the way the tongue is, the color, etc., most likely this is poison. Now, if it is poison, you need to understand what type of poison is it. And I'm sure that the president was the most interested person to know what exactly killed his daughter. They had quarreled the previous day in Parliament.
That was an open discussion.
An open discussion which was not friendly, to the extent that the president said, this girl was badly brought up. I will carry you, go to Utarija. That does not mean the president is responsible for this. But because of the rumors that go on, and that's why the president came up to respond to them, he should be most interested to know the answer. And an unadulterated answer. But the answers...
Well, but that's exactly what he's doing.
He's not doing it.
What do you mean?
Why was this man intercepted? We wanted an independent inquiry.
Dr. Nzivwa?
Yes.
Are you sure he was carrying the right samples?
He was.
Maybe pick them from the roadside.
He was. Where did the police put the right samples?
Well, but
he got them in the hands of the police.
But he was smuggling them. We don't allow, this country doesn't allow smuggling.
Under what law? Which law are you talking about? Let me tell you, this man is an experienced pathologist. Very experienced, very knowledgeable. That's number one.
Well, we know he just come back from South Africa.
Number two, he was
hired by the ANC.
He was cleared by his supervisors. Number three, all he did was in broad daylight. He was given those samples in the presence, participation, and concurrence of the police. Of the police in Uganda.
All right.
The same people that arrested him. And that does not take away my temptation of saying and of thinking and saying with something to cover. What are they hiding? So the president must explain to the nation. What is it that they do not want us to know from South Africa? That's number one. Number two, did he receive a brief from the police? If not, that is how poor his government operates. We are not responsible for the clumsy way of running government. Number four, expression. I agree with the president to the extent that nobody should make statements that are likely to jeopardize investigation.
Yes.
Because we want to know the truth.
Yes.
And you see what you do is not to place a ban. Don't talk about it. I will arrest you. You have just mentioned those who will say made inflammatory statements in Parliament. What is he going to do to us? What offense did we commit?
He's jailed. He's called 7 of them. They're going to get in jail.
We're just waiting. You see, if the president wants to go with the Parliament, let him be bold.
What do you mean?
Enough.
You think he can do that?
Yes, he has said it. He was in the bush without
Only one president has done that. That was Dr. Idi Amin. President Museveni cannot do that.
Another one. Amin started as a good man. We are not going to allow President Museveni to descend to the levels of Amin. But if he wants to do with Parliament, let him be man enough to say, I do not want Parliament. I have abolished it by the gun. We shall pack our bags, go home, do something.
And grow cassava, perhaps.
Grow cassava. Or others will take off and leave the country for him. Because his opinion is that millions can leave the country for him. That's why he said, so some people will know. You see, predictability is important. We must know the person we're dealing with. He must also realize that this government was entrusted to him by the nationals in partnership with other agencies of the state. The leadership of this country was given to him together with us. We are running mates. He cannot dwell with
But you are not in the bush.
I did not have to be in the bush. You see, people fight wars of their times. I am fighting.
What war did you fight?
I am now fighting the dictatorship that is creeping into my country. This is my time now.
This is an elected government.
It's an elected government. We will not allow. By the way, I'm part of the elected government.
Yes.
I'm a member of Parliament. I will not allow one man to take over my role.
This is Spectrum on Radio 1. We're going for a break. We'll be back. Do stay tuned.
Discover the new invigorating taste of Red Vodka Lemon. Red Vodka Lemon. Reinvent the night. Not for sale to persons under 18.
Excuse me, guys. Let me through, please. Yes.
Chick is scared. Goodness, dude, what are you doing? Get real.
Just move
What?
a little bit. Man, what are you doing bringing a cow into the sitting room? It's just for when I want milk.
Just what?
Just please move. Let it come and sit here.
Show me this guy.
You cannot keep a cow in your home, but you can get the freshness of its milk straight from the farm into your home. Get fresh dairy milk. For freshness straight from the farm every day. Fresh Diary. So fresh.
Welcome to the MTN Service Center, sir.
Hey.
How can I help you?
We are here to buy MTN SIM cards.
Okay.
Meet my wife and my daughter and my son. This is my father, my mother and my cousin Sylvia.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Hey, I need even for my auntie piece. Come close, auntie piece. Behind her is my mechanic and my newspaper vendor and my boss and the pastor.
Okay, sir.
This Christmas, buy an MTN SIM card to win free airtime for a year. Dial *188# to win. 250 winners will immediately be notified on SMS each day. Win free airtime for a year with MTN this Christmas. Terms and conditions apply.
And of course there is my brother, my electrician, my plumber, and my baba's best friend's girlfriend.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
On the 26th of November 2012, Uganda Revenue Authority piloted the new customs IT system known as Askuda World at Jinja Customs Station. The implementation will result in changes in the clearance process of goods ranging from submission of documents, processing of declarations, and communication between Uganda Revenue Authority and clearing agents plus taxpayers. All clearance processes in Jinja are now being transacted using Askuda World. Only the transit process in Busia and Malaba for goods destined to Jinja are using Askuda World. Effective 24th December, transits from Jinja exiting through Katuna and Mutukula will be validated using Askuda World. Goods from Jinja destined to Malaba and Busia are also processed using Askuda World. All other processes remain transacted using Askuda++. Announced Commissioner, Customs Department, Uganda Revenue Authority.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90.
Welcome back on Spectrum tonight. The arrest and detention of members of parliament. Why is the police holding them beyond the stipulated 48 hours? And what are the implications of such an act? Our guests, Honorable Medard Lubega Ssegonna, Busiro East MP, also Shadow Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. We expected Andrew Felix Kawesi, Assistant Inspector General of Police. He's the Commandant of Kampala Metropolitan Police. He pulled out. He could not come in because of other engagements. Right now, we are joined by someone from the NRM party. His name is Ambassador Chintunyago, Deputy Head of Mission in New York, at the United Nations in New York. Ambassador Chintunyago, you're most welcome to Spectrum this evening. Ambassador Nyago, we'll try to get back to him again. He's joining us on the line to balance this debate out. Right now we have Honorable MP. When are these people supposed to appear in court?
Again, good question to a wrong person. I've been pressing to have them in court, and that has not worked. We are actually compelling them to release them. We have filed an application in court for unconditional release this evening, and we hope it will be heard tomorrow, because since they fear taking them to court, for us we are pushing them to go to court. And I must explain that they have failed to establish a charge against them from Monday. You know, the concept of shoot and aim.
Very briefly, we would like to hear from Honorable Ambassador Chintunyago. 48 hours, what does the law say about this detention? 48 hours, what's the magic about 48 hours?
It's mandatory. You must.
But this is a weekend, Honorable.
Why did they arrest over public holidays?
Prevention of crime.
What were they preventing? And what is so hard to investigate about a matter that involves, one, making inflammatory statement, which you said in your introductory remarks. Secondly, if someone, like some people were saying, smuggling
body parts, it's not allowed.
No respect for people who speak things they do not know.
Let's hear from Ambassador Chintunyago. You're welcome to Spectrum, Ambassador Nyago. Hello. Seems to have a troublesome line tonight. We'll still try and get him because we need to get to hear from Carmen tonight. 48 hours.
So 48 hours is mandatory. And by the way, it is in any case. You are supposed to do it as soon as possible, but in any case, not later than 48 hours.
And they've been there since Monday. That's 96 hours.
And this is a command of the Constitution. But when you talk to these police officers, why are you doing this? They say, it depends on the circumstances.
What do you mean?
The Constitution does not talk about circumstances. This Constitution expects intelligent men and women to do their work intelligibly. You know, that's why they are given powers under the Police Act. to give a police bond. If investigations are not complete, what do? You give a police bond. You ask somebody, please report here on 27th. As simple as that. It is some elementary thing which our police officers, which our government fail to understand.
All right, we have Ambassador Nyago on the line. You most welcome, Ambassador Chintu Nyago. Hello? Well, troublesome line tonight. Hello? Ambassador, you're welcome to Spectrum. Okay. Somebody's going to work on those lines. We'll get to him as soon as we're able to do that. 48 hours, you're saying the law does not allow that to happen?
It does not provide exceptions. It expects people arresting and acting to be more intelligent than what we are witnessing today. I'm actually disappointed. I mean, Major General Kale Kayihura is the one I know is a gentleman. Except for the turbulence that is taking place in our country today. He is a gentleman, I insist, and I know this. I don't know why he's allowing himself to be messed up. I mean,
he studied law in London.
Is there? Yes, he has a master's in law. He was actually
from London.
In London when he was recalled to come back to the bush.
He was offered a job in Nigeria. He turned it down.
He turned it down for the good of this country, I must say, and with appreciation and gratitude. But why is he allowing himself to be messed up by another man in this country?
What do you mean by another?
Where is the culture of resignation in this country? I mean, people must learn to resign where you're not comfortable. I know he's not comfortable. I know he's embarrassed by what is going on.
Honorable Lubega, why has police been deployed at the late Nebanda's burial place? We have been told policemen are surrounding that place. There's a roadblock. You can't just walk in there. Do you have information that we do not have?
Yes, I do. Just yesterday, my leader of the opposition, who was going to want to grieve with the family well aware that he was coming and ready to receive him, was blocked by the police. An attempt under the guise of saying, you know, we do not want to politicize this death.
Was he carrying flowers, a wreath of flowers, or he was had nothing?
You know, people do different things differently. Actually, I am aware there is a religion which does not allow carrying wreaths. But let me also say this: when I die, this is part of my will, and I die as a politician, do all the politics that you feel is worth doing. Honorable Nebanda died a politician, and indeed to us a martyr. So it is understandable for people to do all the politics. That's number one. Number two, doing politics even where it is not warranted is not an offense and does not call for police intervention. We do not have a complaint by the family that don't allow Nandala Mafabi or any person to access. Maybe
but the mother was on television protesting. She says she wants all her visitors to show up.
Precisely.
We don't know if she has enough food for them, but she says let them come.
Well, let the government provide food if they feel they sympathize.
Maybe they have enough cassava around that place.
Yes, but the point we're making is what is it that they're blocking? Now I've seen in today's papers, one of today's papers was saying the security is hatching out a plan to arrest that two.
Well, we can't talk about things that haven't happened. Yes. Let's talk about what these MPs have been saying. What is the substance of what they're saying?
Body remains important to us. She is the only member of parliament in the history of our country whose body has been taken to parliament twice, who has been removed from a house in Entebbe and taken back, who has entered 3 houses, Entebbe, Parliament, and Butaleja. She has not died an ordinary death. She did not die an ordinary legislator. She died a heroine, and we respect and we applaud her contribution. Whether they block people from accessing the home, grieving with the family because they want to increase the pain or to the family, we shall remain and stand with her family. Let me say again, may her soul rest in eternal peace.
Honorable Ssegonna, how is this all likely to end? MPs being arrested, 7 could end up behind bars. The speaker could be questioned. Look at the history of this country. Or she could be arrested. We don't know whether she'll be wearing robes or without robes. But what is likely to happen? Talk to us about possibilities.
What is likely to happen, nobody can tell. Because the sovereignty of this country has been now taken over by one person. That's number one. The heritage of our country from our forefathers has been now taken over by one person. I think the only thing we need to do, I can only suggest a solution. Let people adopt a principle of humility. That's number one. Where people make mistakes, It is wisdom that must compel them to say, I am sorry, I went wrong, I am going wrong.
Let's hear from
Everyone has made a mistake.
Chito Jago, we managed to get through to him. Ambassador Nyago, you're welcome, Spectrum. Hello? These lines went for Christmas and they never came back. That's what it looks like to me at this stage. Continue, Honorable.
Your lines are actually aware that this is a controversial matter. It has a lot of politics. It's explosive. A civil servant is not supposed to meddle.
I'm not certain about that.
I'm certain. You're now listening to me. I'm the author of these words. He's not supposed to meddle anyway, but we shall listen to him when he chooses to surface.
Yes, give us your scenario.
I was telling you, it is about people humbling themselves before the nation. That yes, the country is more important, and therefore we humble ourselves before our God and before people to say, I am sorry, I went wrong. You know, we have accomplices after the fact. You may be mistaken to be an accomplice after the fact if you conduct yourself in such a manner that you're suspicious. The government is behaving suspicious.
What do you mean?
I mean, the conduct of the state, don't talk about it. Don't do an investigation. It is only the police to do the investigation. Where is that exclusive mandate?
But your people are smuggling samples. Why smuggling?
Where is that offense? We want
smuggling is an offense.
No. Smuggling what? Goods. Actually, the president said
body parts.
Theft. Body parts. Theft is about things that are capable of being stolen. That is the definition in the penal code. You cannot steal something.
But there is the secretion of the head.
Now, from who? Who is the complainant? Is the complainant?
Ambassador Nyago, you most welcome to Spectrum tonight. Well, it looks like we have to go without a voice from the other side of government. We invited someone from police, he couldn't come. We're trying to get in touch with someone from the interim government. The lines don't seem to be able to...
Let me tell you.
Let's continue.
The situation is so embarrassing. It is so embarrassing that if I were in the NRM, I would either walk out clear-headed to say, we went wrong, or
what do you mean went wrong?
We went wrong in everything. The investigations have been messed up by the government. There's been meddling by the executive. They must accept this. For us as parliament, when you lose somebody, you're entitled to investigate the cause of that person's death. The police can do their investigations.
Is that why you took the body?
You can investigate the police. We were investigating the cause of our sister's death, and we are perfectly entitled to do that. There is no law that stops us from doing that. That's number one.
But your people
police was a partner.
You're making fiery accusations. You heard what Honorable Yomochi was saying today in the newspaper.
Yes.
Talking about Jananlum, you can't make such statements.
Why not?
Why do you say Why do you say things like
These
that?
are comparables.
This is like chalk and cheese.
Did you see Idi Amin shooting Jananlum?
No, there was no evidence.
Governments do not kill that way. I'm not in a position to say the government killed Nebanda, but I cannot speak for the government to say no, they did not. That's why I want to subject them to a thorough scrutiny and investigation, a thorough analysis of all events, of all circumstances. They must subject themselves to an investigation.
By who?
To analysis. By whoever.
Scotland Yard or what?
No. Including you.
Was it during Kaira's time?
Where is the report?
Go on.
Where's Mayombo's report?
It's with the family.
Which family?
Oh, the family of Mayombo.
The family said
he gave the report to the family. Why do you
now let him quote somebody in the family to whom he gave the report. The family has come up to say we do not have our brother's report. Where is Kaira's report? Where is Mayombo's report? Where is Chibwetere's report? Where is the...
What do you mean Chibwete? That was mass suicide.
The government mass what?
Suicide by fanatics who thought the world was...
We want a report to that effect. We are manufacturing a report in the studio. We want a report. The government undertook an investigation. We want a report. All government reports. Where is ours from Kasubi?
Why do you are asking for reports for everything? Speaker Ayume died and that's
because those reports have not come forth. Ayume died. The vehicle that killed him never surfaced. We're asking these questions. And let me tell you, the right person who has the best interest to establish the truth in this is the president. He's the chief executive. But this business of telling us only and only the police must investigate, no way. We are not bound by that. We are not going to go by that.
Let's hear from the listeners. This is Spectrum. Tonight, the arrest and detention of members of parliament. Why is the police holding them beyond the stipulated 48 hours? And what are the implications of such an act? You can call in now. Our number 0414-348-111, 031-226-0390, 031-226-1390. Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name? AM, that's a Ugandan name. Go on.
Thank you for Ssegonna. Actually, I want to disagree with Honorable Ssegonna that the function of the police is very clear. Besides police, I don't think there is any.
Where are they clear and what do they say?
And another issue, you are using the ordinary for your political doing. And on record, I saw you on TV when you were in Kampala celebrating when Navinda was his parents. So you were in the introduction. So when you come here, I think you are using it as a political gain. Thank you.
Spectrum, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, your name?
I'm glad to have brought up that honorable.
Your name, sir?
I'm calling at Kizito and calling from Banda. Incidentally, I don't know what's wrong with this second party in the parliament. They know exactly what the law is. They are the people, they are the legislators in this country. They know exactly who is supposed to investigate what. They know they have messed up the investigation themselves. Why should they go ahead and blame the executive? Another question which I want Ssegonna to tell me is, Honorable Ssegonna.
Yes, my brother.
Why do they always, as the parliament, what do they mean by government? Are they an arm of government? Why do they always insinuate government should do this? Government should do this. Who is the government and who is not the government?
Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name? Yes.
First of all, thank the honorable member of parliament with the executive because as you see,
Get your point, yes?
I'm also to tell you that for us as citizens out this way, we have been ourselves in the today. All like form a group that is there.
Okay, all right, okay. We prefer that you ask a question. Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name?
I'm Charles Kasozi, I'm calling from Kampala.
Yes, Charles Kasozi.
I just wanted to tell the previous caller who was being lambasting Parliament that in this country, the problem is before the lion comes to your house, you are so complacent. There are so many people who have been talking like they have been talking. But once this government does something terrible to his family, that's when we understand.
Spectrum, hello. We don't know what that. Yes, your name?
Yes, Dr. Fred is my name.
Come again?
Dr. Fred is my name.
Fred, yes?
Yeah, I want to thank Honorable Ssegonna and then Honorable John. What they are talking is really true.
Good.
If you look at the way government was trying to grow all these investigations that were taking place, you will smell a rat.
What? When you smell a rat? We are not, well, maybe he's understood it till last. Yes, your name? Yes, Max.
Yes, my single question to Mr. Ssegonna is the way these young people were arrested, it kind of sends a feeling of belittling the members of Parliament. Because why should the member of Parliament just be arrested in such a simple and decent manner? We expect to see some arrest if the police has a blood, maybe something to sort out with the memory. So gradually to such a statement, it should put it in writing and have a useful in a decent manner.
Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name?
Now,
your name?
My issue is,
Yes.
Ssegonna is a lawyer.
Yes.
Is it really a function of parliament to investigate crime?
Spectrum, hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name?
Stella.
Stella, yes, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Spectrum. One, Parliament should have known by now that everything they start, they don't finish, and they leave unconcluded. Secondly, if the parliamentary commission led by Dr. Baryomosi and the CID agreed that all samples be taken to different hospitals, accompanied by some other person, why was Ozipwa in such a rush to take the samples and accompanied by the police, only to confirm that indeed the parliamentary commission led by Baryomosi was trying desperately to lead the state to the murder?
Okay.
Why did he wait for the person to accompany him to the destination he was headed to?
Thank you very much, Pamela. Sorry, Stella.
Hello?
Okay, Spectrum, hello?
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 I want to know, Mr. Ssegonna.
Your name?
Why is it when this part never parliament by police? Why don't they respond police summons instead of being humiliated and arrested like a citizen?
Okay, Spectrum, hello? Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Ronnie, yes?
I wanted to ask you whether the Ssegonna, when the parliament started investigating crimes, then too, if they investigate and found out maybe she was poisoned, why are they going to arrest those people who poisoned? Who poisoned? So let them be clear. They should not mislead people.
Okay, let's get back to the studio right away. Honorable Medard Ssegonna.
First, I want to say thank you to whoever's made an effort to call in. I guess some of them, whether consciously or not, were trying to know. I don't want to say some were asking out of ignorance, but Ugandans must stop taking pride in ignorance. There are certain things they do not know. The functions of the police of Uganda are contained in Article 212 of the Constitution. Protect life and property. Was Nevanda's life protected? No. Preserve law and order. They've been saying, you breached the law. Breached the law. Nobody has ever come up to say this is the law that was offended by taking these samples to South Africa. Are you allowed to investigate crime? Two answers. One, yes, because there is no bar. Actually, we are supposed, the police, among the functions in Article 212, must cooperate with the civilian authority. We cooperated with them. Our members of parliament, and particularly for this lady Pamela Nkunda, who describes herself as Stella, we cooperated. This woman who
now we had one caller called Stella.
Yes, I know she's Pamela. You don't confuse the public. We, through our colleagues who sat in that room, sat down with the police and we took a joint decision. If the police and government were interested, they would have sent their own to go with Dr. Onzivwa to South Africa and investigate together. Instead, they said they were going to send their samples to London.
They sent them and they got the results.
Wait a minute. Yes, for them, pursuant to an agreement in the meeting, they sent theirs. They retained ours. So for us, we cannot. So let me tell those who are, I mean, somebody described us as sycophants. You need to read your dictionary again, or to get your neighbor to read it for you. To understand the meaning of sycophant. There are no sycophants in this particular case. If you wish to know, you will read to know. But I just want to tell those people, those colleagues of mine, those friends of mine who are saying we cannot investigate crime. We are not even investigating crime. We are investigating cause of death. That information would assist the state in knowing, for example, if we established, as I believe, that this is poison, we would know the type of poison, where this poison is manufactured. We would be able to ask, was it Edmond Kizito? Was it Medard Lubega or Joseph Mokasa, who has been frequently traveling to this country where this poison is made? Has he been coming with luggages that are suspicious? You know, that would go a long way in assisting the police. Now, to some of these people, I would ordinarily not be responding because I don't want to go below a certain level.
No, but
there is a duty for me as a leader to educate some people, to understand the levels of psychophancy to which they should go. This is our country. Today, it is Nebanda's family. Tomorrow, it is somebody else's family.
Someone who
we had provided.
Someone dies from drugs, it could happen in another family.
I mean, if you're calling it drugs, let it go for an open investigation. That's why we were saying
police has investigated.
If the government wanted to participate, I mean, why did they go to London? It means limited capacity.
You want Scotland?
Why did they choose London? Scotland Yard made a report for Kaira. It has never surfaced. When Lukwago and others attempted to bring it because they got it, they were locked up. So don't tell me about Scotland Yard. If they want us, by the way, this is a vote of no confidence in what they are doing, if I may say. When we tell you we want to investigate you, or we want to investigate alongside you, it means we cannot trust you. The president was the very first person to say that. When he took his daughter to Germany to deliver,
yes,
he said, and he wrote in the New Vision,
yes,
he wrote and said, I do not trust those doctors in Uganda.
In your view, maybe they're not good enough, they're not experts.
If they are not good enough
delivering babies,
the very reason we were taking these samples to South Africa.
No, maybe they just can't.
If the head of state, their paymaster, cannot trust them, who do you want to trust them? Ladies and gentlemen, please give us some respect. And when you people are calling in to say, when you don't know your mandate, let me tell you, we are schooled enough. We went to school, we know what we are doing. And you voted us for a purpose. I want somebody, I challenge anyone to tell us the law that was offended by Parliament taking a step to say we want to know the cause of death of our friend. 2, why the government would not be interested in the truth. They should have sponsored somebody to go along with Dr. Nzivwa. They did not do that.
That was a smuggler.
I mean, they were accomplices because it is a decision they took jointly.
No, he was only smuggling this person. Nobody gave
I'm saying this is a decision they took in a meeting attended by the Director CID on the instructions and command of the IGP. The IGP was in the know. Why do you think the IGP is keeping quiet? Why do you think Grace Akolo is keeping quiet? They are embarrassed, and understandably so.
Why don't you legislators respect police?
Why is the president taking over the role of the police? We respect them. Let me tell you, haven't I told you that Tikale Kaiwa is a gentleman? Kawesi is a gentleman. Grace Akolo is a lady. Those people know what they are doing. Why would somebody who has never had a police training instruct the police? It is wrong.
Well, but the MPs were arrested. No, the speaker was told. They followed all the procedures.
The procedures were followed. These are senior pathologists, including Professor Wabinga. They knew what they were doing. They sealed the samples.
Right.
They marked them.
We have to go.
This is the information. I mean, this could be my last word.
Yes.
Possibly before they come for me. This is our country.
We have to go. Thank you very much. Honorable Medard Lubega Ssegonna, Busiro East MP, also Shadow Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Thank you for coming to Spectrum. We tried to get someone from Bugamet. All efforts failed. The first official said he could not come. He had an engagement. The second official couldn't join us on the line because of a fault in the studios. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond, Kizito Spectrum. We'll be back tomorrow.
My greatest music hit of all time? The first time I heard the electric guitar on my father's